My favorite holiday, though, it's not Halloween. I love Thanksgiving because it's the one main holiday where there's no pressure to have sex. Because like New Year's, you want to start the year off right. Valentine's Day, it's the day of love. Easter, he has risen. So Thanksgiving, there's none of that. Just turkey, Cowboys football, talking to relatives, things I do once a year, okay? I like Chicago, though. I like Chicago in the summer. It's kind of the best time to be here. I went to the Gay Pride Festival this summer. The thing is, I went with one of my dumb friends, and you've probably heard this question that they asked at this thing. They're like, why is there a Gay Pride Month but no Straight Pride Month? And I had to explain to them, I was like, there is a Straight Pride Month. It's just we call it March Madness. Okay. And like that joke's not fair because I got a lot of gay friends that like college basketball. It's just that every commercial for Buffalo Wild Wings, that's for us, okay? At the Pride Festival, there's a float. The funniest float to me is the float for the Allies. Because that's like if after 6 Bulls championships, Michael Jordan was like, no, you know who needs to be up here? Benny the Bull, okay? It's been a tough week for the teachers here. I work at a startup, and it's definitely going to fail. And that's mostly because they hired me. I studied philosophy in college, and my college doesn't even pay the 37-cent stamp to ask me for money anymore, okay? But it's cool. I like working at a startup. We get a lot of benefits, one of which we get to work from home, and people who can't do that, they'll ask me, like, what's it like to work from home? And I'm like, basically, have you ever masturbated 4 times in a day? Because that's exactly what it's like. So the teachers are striking. I enjoyed school. I enjoyed high school, and that's because I was the bully. But it's okay. I bullied the other bullies, so I was like the Robin Hood of bullying. But I was also bullied too. I was bullied for being really pale. They called me Mayo. They're like, hey, mayonnaise, come over here and lick this sandwich. They're not comedians. They were just bullies, okay? But I was also bullied because of my name, which you heard in the beginning. But my middle name is Nathan. So if you're really smart, you figured out that my initials spell out anal. Which is funny now, but even funnier when you haven't gone through puberty yet, okay? And the thing is, I had one of those backpacks that had my initials on it, so at all times my behind said anal, all right? And I remember one time I went home, everyone was laughing at me that day at school, and I asked my mom, and she's a neurologist, and she has told people that they will never be able to walk again, and I asked her, I was like, what does anal mean? And she's like, oh, it just means butt. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I get it, yeah. And the people I disliked in high school were the people who were really big Harry Potter fans. I feel like they were just as bad as the horoscope people, which I also refer to as the moon people. But they'd ask, I hate them because they'd ask these things like, are you a Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff? And I'm like, no, I'm a fucking adult, okay? Besides, I'm an Ohio State fan, so I wouldn't be either of those. Yeah. I don't like Harry Potter. I'm more of a rap fan. The thing is that rap's not always made for people like me, because I grew up thinking listening to NPR counted as dessert. And so the thing is, like, when I sing along to rap songs, I don't say the N-word, and you can trust me on that because I said sing along to rap songs. So the word I picked. The word I picked to replace the N-word is the word Jews. The problem is it doesn't always make sense, like Jews in Paris, that shit crazy. I went to Paris with another Jew, we did it reasonably priced, okay? The craziest thing we did was broke kosher and ate snails, and our rabbi hasn't said shit about it, okay? One time I was called the N-word, and I was like, wow, I've never met a blind person before. It's a weird time to be Jew now because the Nazis are back. And apparently they still hate Jews. After 80 years, they were like, yep, this is our core business. And the reason they don't like us is because they say we control the media, run the banks, things like that. And every time I hear that, I just want to show them a video of my dad struggling to turn on the TV. My dad is a doctor. He's a smart guy, but he's not smart enough to subtly install socialism in America, okay? What? Are you a Nazi? My dad, he tries to get things though. He asked me to explain to him technology. He was like, Adam, explain to me Bitcoin. I was like, you're not gonna get Bitcoin. You barely got transgender, and this is a lot harder than that. My mom, she raised us in a very liberal household, which means we weren't allowed to eat Domino's pizza growing up because the CEO was vehemently pro-life, which is a very weird stance for a pizza chain CEO to have. But the thing is, like, you don't need a political reason to boycott Domino's pizza. You can just not eat Domino's pizza. Like, no one's ever asked a follow-up question to, hey, why aren't you eating that Domino's pizza? It is not. It is not. And this is how we know somebody who is not pro-choice, okay? Okay, I'm from Ohio. And a lot of people from Ohio, we have a lot of pride. And if you ever meet anyone from Ohio, they got a lot of pride. And the reason is you defend your state too and be proud of your state if your state bordered Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Okay? Like one of those states invented the KKK. And then the other two were like, hey, why didn't we think of that? All right, thank you very much. I've been Adam Levine.